if you're watching this, everyone know that my uncle Wes, which is Captain Dee Fense, passed away this Sunday. I think everybody got the news this morning. I know my aunt Lisa, which is my uncle's youngest sister, let me know yesterday. So and my sister called me yesterday, I believe so. But I kind of wrapped my mind around this thing, and like I said, with him, he was about the Ravens. He was about the fans. We talked about this. Geez, my uncle, my uncle passed away some years ago, and he really started this captain defense thing. Started to really take flight at time, and yeah, just really kind of got into this, and we talked about a year ago, and he's like, you can't imagine how big this thing has become. Like I said, with him, it's been since the Ravens got here in '96, and with the Colts, the old Memorial Stadium, and like I said, I'm still trying to process, so bear with me a little bit. But like with him, he was my inspiration for creating the sports concept. Like I said, me, I do this to benefit children with autism. My oldest son has autism, and I do the projects with the different teams to raise money for support autism. And like I said, with him, it wasn't. You could talk to him, you can approach him, and it wasn't like some people that take this fame, this internet fame, thing like that, and then they go above everyone else and believe that they're better than the fans when they're the fans themselves. With him, he was never like that. I've been around him at many times in the game, and people would come up to him, and it was like it was just that's just who he was. He was accepting to everybody. I'm sorry, my daughter's in the background, but with him, he would get get to the game, and when I say get to the game, he's driving from Waldorf, that's in Charles County, and to get to Baltimore, and then set up in the parking lot, and then he'll start walk through the crowd. I mean, one time went to a game with him, and we walked to the stadium. It took a while. We got to our seats, and he sat with me for like about 5 or 10 minutes, and he was gone. I didn't see him the whole entire game, cause he was busy walking around the stadium and doing other things, and that's why I got my inspiration from him. But with him, he wanted this thing to last beyond him, and it was so important for him to carry this on for his grandchildren. I know he especially knows about his grandson, and I wanted to make sure that we'll find some kind of way to make this thing go on forever. Like Mo Gaba, he was a special person in the Ravens and Orioles or fan base. He was special, and to let these two local heroes to make sure that their legacy moves on. I want to make sure I do my part to make it last as long as I can, and then his grandchildren will take over from that point on. But like I said, one of my earliest memories of my uncle was he bought me and my sister my first bike. Like I said, I was born in the '70s, so this is like in the early '70s. I mean, mid '70s. He bought this bike. If I remember, the red and blue metal bikes back in those days. And so he served in the Navy. I ended up serving in the Marine Corps. But I'm not gonna make this too much longer. We're still trying to wrap our minds around this. I don't really how my mom is taking this, but my aunt said that we'll still trying to process what the arrangements will be and things like that. And I know the Ravens put out a statement about an hour or two ago, but just keep his family in your prayers. His two daughters, and like I said, he was private but wasn't private.